Welcome to episode 125 of Sport SA Daily Diary. Today we're chatting to Botswanian 800 meter athlete Nijel Amos. Nigel, how are you doing today, bud?
Doing so well. It's a beautiful day in the valley.
You are miles away, thousands of miles. Tell us where you are.
Thousands of miles away. Hours behind.
You're in Oregon, huh?
Yeah, I'm in Oregon, Eugene.
Okay. And how long have you been there for?
I moved down here in 2017, but I'm always in and out with the season, going to archery camps. But yeah, it's been actually 3 years ever since I joined the club here.
Okay. Nice, man. Nigel, you are an 800 meter champion, and we're going to get into all of that a little bit later. But tell us a bit about Nigel growing up as a schoolboy and sort of your early days. Were you always keen on running?
No, running has never been something that I thought I could do. Never something that I knew about its existence. That could be a pro run until I was like almost at high school, you know. I was a soccer player. I grew up as a soccer player. I grew up in the farms, raised by my grandparents after I lost my parents at a young age. So I was, my grandparents were farmers. So I was staying in the farms with them. I was looking, like I would leave in the morning with cattle, come back in the evening, taking the cattle to the mountain, bring them in the evening, you know. And we were 9 boys in our family. There were 9 boys in our family. So we'd make a soccer team and challenge other families to make some money to buy some soup or something, you know, for the house.
Oh, that's brilliant. And did you have dreams of sort of playing football for a living? Sort of going to play for Man United?
Definitely. I thought I would turn pro. I'll play for Chelsea. That was my team
No.
that I wanted to go. And unfortunately, things turned away. When I got to high school, senior school, I met the coach, Mr. Mafefe, and then he was like, "Hey, I would like you to join my track team." I was like, "Look, I'm not that good there." He's like, "No, last year you won the national championship in 3,000 and 5,000. In 3,000 and 5,000. I was like, "Yes, but I was just doing that, but not like I'm gonna keep doing it now in this court." He's like, "Okay." I talked to the soccer coach. He said, "Don't allow him to play soccer anymore." So I couldn't play soccer, and then I was like, "Okay, let me head down to athletics to just show them that I'm not that good, you know, so that I get my freedom back." And little did I know that was my path. I'm here now.
Yeah. And when you sort of went there with the school, were you 800 meters or were you a bit longer?
I started my first race was steeplechase, and then after steeplechase, I went to 5,000, and then I went to 1.5. Now, one day we went to this meet, and then it's like, you know, you actually have a speed and you have endurance, but it's not enough for 3,000. It's not enough for 5,000. You want to try 800? I was like, no, that's just something else. And then I ended up jumping into that race and ran 152 in my first race. It's like, okay, that's not pretty bad. You could turn it from there, you know.
Yeah, I did 800 and 1,500 at school, but certainly wasn't running times anywhere near that. That's for sure. For your first race, that's bloody fast.
I think because I didn't know anything much about it, I just went to the race and follow the guys and just make sure that last 100 pass the guys. That was the thing. Just take with the guys, last 100 pass them. So I just follow the coach plan and just do that.
And I mean, that coach, he must have had quite a significant impact on the way you are today.
Yeah, he really have a significant impact because I believe he's the one who took me to 141, you know. With him not having the he's not a qualified coach, he's a geography teacher. Him be able to put the pieces together and be able to make me one of the world best. I went to the World Youth under his eyes, and then I finished number 7. I went to the World African Junior. I won the African Junior. So I think he really have a big impact. We're still talking now. Whenever I move to a new coach, whenever I move to another coach, I still connect them with him because he's the one who understands me better. He's the one who put me into this. There's some things that no one ever know better until they communicate to him to say, okay, in this way, how were you working with him? So it's really one of the most important people in my life.
And Nigel, tell us, when was the African Junior Athletics Champs in 2011 the first time you represented your country, or was it the World's Junior Champs first?
The African Junior in 2011. Before that, there was something. Before that, I've competed in the Kosasa and all those, which is one thing I appreciate in the sports. If I look back, is that I've went through all the stages. You know, Southern Youth, Southern Junior, Kosasa, World Youth, World Junior, African Youth, African Junior, African Senior. which I believe is the stability of my career and the foundation of my career, because I got to learn through all the channels and got to grow through all the channels. So African Junior is the first one, really. I'll say I was wearing that jersey and I brought my home medal.
And tell us a bit about representing your country for the first time. You're from Botswana. It's a very proud nation, very strong nation. I mean, that must, even if it was a junior championship, it must have been a pretty special sort of gut-wrenching moment lining up for your country.
When I crossed that line, I knew that I had done medal, and then I did 147. Then that was the national record, junior record. I was really pleased with that. And then now that's when I started to get more light to say, I think you could do this even more better. That's when more confidence getting in, more light was coming in, and then I focused more on getting it right.
And I mean, you certainly got it right. So from going from the African Junior Champs in 2011, 2012 was a monster year for you. A no-name, going to the Olympics, coming second, taking silver medal in your first Olympics as a youngster, as a junior. You set the junior world record at the same time. You were the first person from Botswana to ever win an Olympic medal. I mean, mate, that is unbelievable.
Yeah, it's 2011. The thing that for me, 2012 for me, my main goal was the World Juniors. I remember I have a status that I posted on Facebook in 2011. I say, next year I'll be in Barcelona representing my country and I'll make it proud, you know. So I feel like World Juniors are spoken into existence here. I've made the universe conspiracy to me to give it to me. And then it happened the way I expected and go to the World Juniors and win the World Junior. And I look back and see that status. I was like, oh, look at this. A year after it happened, I won the World Junior. Now I qualified, I'm going to the Olympics. Just getting to the Olympics for me was just to go there, enjoy the culture, learn and see all those other people. And really there was no any pressure on me to say, go to run and get things right, go to yoga with the medal. I was not even on my country medal target. The minister, when I crossed that line in London winning that medal, my minister of sports was on the flight back home because the only they thought Amante will win the medal. Once Amante wasn't winning the medal, the minister flight back home. So when I crossed the line, the minister was on the flight back home. So that means that I was just there floating with the positive energy and just sinking on and flow with things. Eventually, I crossed the line with the soul.
I mean, that's just incredible. You've been like a professional for only a couple of years, if that. And tell us about standing on that podium and, you know, I mean, having that medal put around your neck. The emotions must have been uncontrollable.
You know, that's when I realized there's some things that you appreciate that value and moments afterwards, you know. I don't think in that moment when I stood down in that podium in London, I appreciated its value, I appreciated everything, you know. Years after, I think 2015, that's when I reflected back and really appreciated the year and really saw how much I've went into that. Because it was like all the years when you're trying to get back to that level best, you can get to it 1-1-4-1 again. I couldn't get back there with injuries coming in. That's when I started to really appreciate being able to get there healthy and be able to cross the line and achieve such a result. You know?
And I mean, tell us a bit about that, the 2012 Olympics. As a young guy, you must have been walking around with your eyes like huge. There's Usain Bolt and there's this guy and there's that guy. I mean, it must have been like surreal.
That was my daily routine. I wake up, go to lunch, walk around the village, meet people, take pictures as many as you can. Before 800 hits, I have a picture with Rhodesia because he was my daughter. Oh, look at Rhodesia. I took a picture with him before the races could even start. And to stand in podium with him, it was absolutely amazing. It was absolutely something that I felt like great.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, sort of growing up between your sort of 2011 area, did you have someone that you were looking up to and thinking, jeepers, I'd like to, like a role model type of thing in the 800 meters or another discipline?
But then 2011, I just wanted to be better. I just wanted to get to the national record, which was 144, you know. After I did 147, I was like, okay, probably I could get to 144. But my aim was like in the next 4 years, I should be able to get to 144, which was my aim was like in 2015, I should be able to run that 144. Let me grow up on it. Let's go up step by step on it. And then I'll get to that. So, and then everything happened. I'll say, I'll use the word overnight. Everything just changed overnight. I got there, break the national record, even not just even national record, running the third fastest time ever in the world, you know. So it was something that just happened so much quickly and happened unexpected, you know. And with, I guess because I was free, I was relaxed, I didn't have any worry, I was just flowing with the flow. So that really helped to put all the right energy going.
And after the Olympics, sort of when you went home, were you sort of welcomed home as an absolute hero and people
Yeah,
would mob you in the streets and all that kind of thing?
We had an amazing welcome back home. You know, we had all the airport was packed. I was given cows, chicken, goats, you know, which is our culture. We Botswana, it's a farming people. We are farmers, most of us. So I'm a farm boy. That was really the best moments when I brought those kettles home, you know.
No, I'm sure. You must have been like a godsend to the country. 2013, Nigel, was a bit of a tough year. You were injured for a lot of it. Did you sort of use that to learn like more about yourself and your body and that type of thing? Or was it just a really frustrating period?
Definitely. It was a moment for me. New team, I just moved to South Africa. I'm just an 18-year-old. I've never been to any city. I spent the rest of my life in the village, you know. Now, first time I'll ever leave the village, I'm even going to another country. So getting to another country, getting to adapt onto new coach and everything was something that I had to take on slowly by slowly. And then I got injured on the process. Now you got injured in the first year with a new coach, everything. You wonder if it's going to work out or it's not going to work out. And that was supposed to be my first world championship that year in Moscow. And I remember sitting down watching the 800 final was won by Armani with 144.73. And then I was like, I would run that time any day. You know, if I'm fresh, I'll run that time. This was my moment for me to get the world championship medal too, you know, gold or something. But then in that moment when I was sitting thinking like that, that's when I realized I was not only killing my body physically, my body was already physically injured. Now I was killing it mentally too. I was getting to destroy my body mentally, wondering when am I going to get here? And then that time I picked up to be a DJ. I followed my path to get on music, and then I became DJ Zorro because I wanted to connect with people. I wanted something that would lift my spirit, something to take off my mind from running again, and during that process, a lot of growth comes in. In 2014, I came back into the season, the different perspective, the different mindset, and I did so well that year.
You certainly did. I mean, you go through these periods where you just have the most phenomenal years. 2014, you set the world leading time and you beat David Rudisha. You won African champs, gold in 800 meters, as well as 4x400 meters. And then Commonwealth Games as well, you walk away with gold. Dude, I mean, 2014 must be like just a pin-up year for you.
Yeah, it's a fresh year. You come there, you're fresh, your mind is in a better place, safety in a better place. I'm adapted with the new coach. Now we really understand each other, knows how to work. And I had a brilliant training partner, Andrew Olufira, by then. And it was really a great moment for me and him to get that in two of us in the podium at Glasgow. It was like, finally, two of us coming from same coach, training together, getting it. It was really something that I always look back in my career and say, we all had food on the table. The whole team ate that day. No,
that's absolutely for sure. And Nigel, there's a distinct difference between running 400 meters and running 800 meters. Running 400 is a flat out sprint. Running 800 at your guys' pace is also pretty much a flat out sprint. But how do you sort of adapt your body between running the two different races? Because it is quite a different race. It's not like going from 200 to 400. 400 to 800 it's a big sort of jump.
It took me a while to be able to shift my body to be able to contain the 400 power and 800 power. All those years I was doing the 400, most of them I was end up getting injured along the process when I convert back to 800. But then when I joined this group here, I started to get into the gym, which was something that I never did in my career. In 2017, I started getting into gym first time. I started to get my diet right. I started to work on strength and conditioning. And then that year, things started to build up. I started to run 45 slows, which is something great for me. Each and every year from 2013, each and every year I was running 45. And running 45, it's a good time for 400, you know. And last year, be able to run 44 and running 141 showed that now my body's speed and endurance is coming together, that I'm able to balance it. And I'm really maybe one season I'll be only focusing on 400 and see what I could get out of it, you know. Because I think I'm a more speed athlete. I'm not an endurance athlete. I do more speed things on the session. I do more fast things rather than endurance things. my longest run will be like a 40 minutes run. If I have to go for long run, I don't really be able to take in long run. So I think I'm more of a sprint.
Well, you certainly are a sprinter, and you're actually a flippin' flyer. Nigel, 2016 or 2015, you won All Africa Games gold again. 2016 African champs. But 2016 was a special year for you in a different way, in the way that you were the flag bearer for Botswana at the Rio Olympics. You didn't have the best Olympics, but I mean, being the flag bearer must have been an honor and a special moment of note.
It was really a big honor for me. It was my second Olympics. I was working there. I was 22 now. And the things that I already, before I even leave home, I already knew I was not in the state of condition to be able to deliver to my best ability. I was 10 kg my extra race weight. That year I didn't train that much. I had so much complications, issues with my health. So I was just saying, not everyone say they lined up for the Olympics the second time Olympian, especially coming from a country with 2 million people, there's really less chances of you becoming an Olympian coming to the countries. So I was going there to Rio to line up to be the second time Olympian, to line up to appreciate the journey. But deep down again, I knew now I'm older. I should be much better. I should be more wiser. So I still felt the pain, even though I crossed the line, last dream dropped up in the heat. I still felt the pain, But I remember the moment I walked into with the team carrying that flag. I said a short prayer. I said, God, I know I'm not going to be able to lead them and do the best I could do, but take them through, give them the best ability that they could give, So that was a special really moment for me to be able to get there. And all the people I met when we were getting the flag bearer, the weight, and getting him breaking the world record, it was amazing,
And I mean, your career is just, I mean, it's incredible. It's just, you research Nigel and you just see gold, 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 gold all over the place. 2019, you had the fastest time of the year, which is brilliant. But quite a special thing for you is you've got the third fastest 800-meter time ever, tied with the great Seb Coe. That's, again, cheapest. That's quite an accolade to have, huh?
That's being a special elite group, I call it a special elite group. So it's good for me to be in that group and be able to know that I have something that is special, something that will take extraordinary to smash again, something that will goes in years and years that, be able to take and say, I'm the third fastest, I have the world junior record, I have championship record, and be able to come back to it again 7 years after last year. That's where it meant more a lot, which I felt like, because I feel like I didn't work much hard in 2012 to get that 141. I feel like I got the result before I could get the work, and I had to work afterwards. I got the result, and then I had to work for my results afterwards, which I feel like for the past 7 years, I was working for that 141, So I get the result before I could even work for them, and then it's like, it's time for you to work for those results now.
Absolutely. Nigel, you talk a lot about your times and those sorts of things. What's more important to you, the medals or the times? If you had to sort of go to 2020 Olympics and you could either win gold or you could break the world record, which would sort of satisfy you more?
I think winning the Olympic gold will be more satisfying. The records have been broken, records have been staying there, but winning a medal is something that I would always have it in there in my house, my eyes, and always show it to my kids and always be inspiration. And bringing another medal to my country will be great. And one thing about me is that in my career, the funny fact is that I've never finished position 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th. I always either 1, 2, or last. It's either show up or don't show up. I've never been in the middle. It's either show up or don't show up.
And Nigel, obviously, the 2020 Olympics has moved to 2021. What are your sort of goals for that?
I just want to get there and get in the podium. I've been working on being able to race championship, because running first time, I could run first time all the year. We saw from 2012, 2013, I've always been there. If I'm healthy, I'll run 142s, I'll run fastest time in the world. So running first time is not a problem for me. The problem for me was running a championship, being able to go through 3 rounds and be able to hold and be able to get to the final fresh and be able to squeeze the final. So for this year, we've been working on to that for me to be able to get there and go through 3 rounds and be able to deliver. In 2018, I raced Monaco, I ran 142 in Monaco, and then in 2 days I went to London and ran 143 in London. That was us checking up my ability to say waist of strength now, being able to come back in 2 days and being doing that, which means in championship I don't have to run 142 and run 143. So I think we're getting there, we're getting better, we're getting to be in a space where I could be face it. So I'm excited to see how things will unfold for me in Tokyo. But definitely I need to get in that podium. That'll be a special thing for me to get in the podium 8 years apart, you know?
No, well, I mean, we have no doubt that you will be on the podium. And I mean, you're the second African athlete that we're focusing on in this week. And I mentioned yesterday that one of the important things in Africa is how Africa unites behind each other. If you look at the 2010 World Cup, when all of the other African countries got knocked out except for Ghana, if the whole of Africa rallied around Ghana. I feel it's going to be very much the same at the Olympics. You know, if there's an African in a final, we will be behind them as a continent, not just as a country.
Yeah.
And I think that's unique. I don't think you get that anywhere else around the world.
No, I don't think we get that. That's the special thing about Africa. We are all united. We are all one, and that. But I still feel that there's so much room for improvement. You know, in terms of all the structure of the sports in Africa. You know, I think we still need that rebranding our Africa athletics, how it looks, what is really saying our Africa athletics. We need to have those meets where we will be able to have our athletes attend good times, which I believe we don't need to get to Europe to run fast time. I believe we can always be home and run 141s in Africa. I think Africa need to sit down and say, how are we redefining our sports? How are we going to put it in a better place for sports? More market money, you know. We need to have people in those positions who are able to have transparency, who understand how much trust plays a big role in the sports, you know.
And I mean, even more so to the fact that Africa's got so many incredible athletes. You look specifically at the sport of athletics. I mean, you go from Kenya to Ethiopia, Botswana, I mean, all over the place. Africa produces unbelievable athletes. What do you think it is about Africa that we've just got these phenomenal athletes?
I always say, once I moved down here in 2017, one thing that I figured out, I say African athletes are natural born athletes. American athletes are natural born athletes, but some of them, even though they're not natural born athletes, they are being given an opportunity to be the best. With all science behind them, with everything that is being put behind them, and the professional level and the structure and channel they're going into, it gives them an opportunity, even though you don't have the natural genetics to be the best in the world. Which I feel if Africa could have those structures, could have those channels, I don't see why Africa will not be on top of the Olympic medal table. You know, I believe, I was saying to someone yesterday, if my dreams come well, 2056, I wish to around 2050, 2060s. Africa should be able to top the medal table, you know. If you put things right in the place, we have great sprinters in the continent. We have great middle distance. But what does it take to be able to put those people in that level for longer and that level consistency and delivering? All these science that helps around, all these sports massages, therapies, psychologists, all things, those little things that place around that helps. I think that's something that we need to put more boost onto it and really put it together. And we'll be having something different in Africa, you know.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I mean, if Africa had half of the structure that Europe or the US had, I mean, they would never come anywhere near us. Nigel, I mean, it's been brilliant chatting to you. Just in closing, who's the toughest athlete you've come up against?
I think I'm losing you.
So who's the toughest athletes you've come up against?
For me, I think the toughest athlete in 800 is Adam Kashor, the Polish. He shows up. He's a championship runner, and every championship he shows up. You know, each and every race, you never rule him out. He's at the back. He's a cat. I call him cat. He knows I call him a cat. You never hear him coming. You just see him passing. So I think my toughest opponent to face is Adam Kashor. You know, I know I could always go fast and blast them up. But the things that most special thing for me, I've always been there. You know, if you look at it, the whole 2012 team that ran that special racing thing, I'm the only one now that's there that still give it to the best of these guys that are coming up, the guys that are coming in. Every year there's a new kid that comes in, and I'm still there, be the guy to face the kid, be the guy to deliver. So I always say I represent the original elite group, you know. Yeah, so yeah, Adam Kashor to be.
And just sorry, one more. I mean, there's a lot of athletes who are pretty reserved and quiet and you know, keep to themselves. You are very bubbly and outgoing, and you're a vivacious person. Do you feel that helps you on the track?
Yeah, it helps me a lot on the track. I have these things where I say, I protect the little boy on me. That little boy who I say, I want to be a president, and they just never have any zero doubt. I've mastered and learned to grow up and always lift up the spirit of the little boy on me. And I always keep the little boy on me alive, and I always get anywhere I want to go, and always be relaxed and be able to execute and do things how I could do to my best ability.
Nijel, it's been brilliant chatting to you today on Sport SA Day Diary. Thank you for your time. We look forward to seeing you stepping on that top step at Tokyo next year. No pressure, but it would be awesome to see.
Definitely, I might be going for a record tonight. I'm racing 600 tonight. There must be something special tonight.
I hope so. Good luck. Cheers.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Be sure not to miss tomorrow's episode of Sport SA Daily Diary, where we chat to an equestrian rider from Zimbabwe.